We going to
Tom Cruise, and I love Molly Sloop.
I am the eyes and ears of this institution. Mama don't like tattletales. Years, even you may be worth something. Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll.
Room for one more, honey.
Today we face the monsters that are at our door.
We live in overstimulated times.
Hi, everybody. Hi, chats. Look at it. Look at all those good emotes. And hi to Rumble, YouTube, everybody. This is Friday night, so here I am with my friends. I'm Molly Sooth. I was a teenage punk rocker, and then I was a cop, and now I'm just like a shit poster, and, you know, just pay taxes. That's it. Hi, friend Chris. Who are you?
I'm Chris Leland. I was formerly a roofer for many years, but now I'm the completer of many menial tasks. I don't really have any thing of significance to say other than just offer my opinion and from low status male kind of point of view.
And a fellow shit poster.
Yes.
And then one of my other favorite shit posters, but I see that you're on mute, Twisted.
there?
Hi, friend.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Twisted. I'm a human being, and I fail daily, and I am a jack of all trades, but a master of none. And I'm excited I'm excited and pissed off, and excited and pissed off at any given moment. All day watching the shit show, information war that we're discussing tonight.
Yes. Yeah, we have so many stories to get to. So I don't know where we'll speed up, slow down, but it's been a really busy week with a lot of chaos and craziness. And I think it's going to be cool because I think we all come at it from different perspectives. Circle of One says, is it true there's a place in a man's head that if you shoot it, it will blow up? Yeah, I've never shot anybody in the head. That's as far as I'll go with
kind
that.
of round you're using.
Leave it to Chris.
He's so random.
We are going to talk about Charlie Kirk and some of the drama and just chaos and just petty bitchiness. And I kind of love all of it for various reasons. So I think I'm going to come at it at a different angle than you guys. But speaking of petty drama, I think I just wanted to start with the Cinnabon racist. And Twisted, you said that you hadn't heard of this story. Which,
I've heard of it.
Hi,
I haven't watched it.
Hi, Pammy Rutledge on YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to explain it like you're 5. This girl works at Cinnabon, And allegedly, the story is that this couple simply came to ask her if she could please put some more caramel on their Cinnabon. And then she called us the N-word. And that's when we started filming. Except that life doesn't work that way. And it looks like there was quite a bit of back and forth, perhaps, before this videotape started. The people that are videotaping her are from wherever the hell they're from. The wife is in a burqa. And apparently she said something to the wife about, well, you can watch me put the caramel on through your veil or whatever, which was like terrible, awful, whatever. But when he starts it, nobody like just goes, oh, honey, do you want to go get some more caramel on the Cinnabon? Yes, dear, I'd love to. First, let's start taping her. Like, nobody does that. So I'm just like, I'm already, it doesn't pass the sniff test. But one of the first things he says to her is that he's like shaming her because she doesn't have a burqa on. And he says, sexualizing your body makes you a better person. And so then she goes off the rails and she gives him a double flip off and then like points at her crotch and goes, suck it. And then she turns around and she pretends to like spread her butt cheeks in some kind of like, fuck you, goatsy thing. Like it just went off the rails. So Cinnabon has fired her. The internet has like rallied. I think they got like $100,000 for this girl who just lost her freaking mind.
The new Hawk Tui girl?
No, I don't think so. And I mean, she was just like in a t-shirt and jeans. Like, first of all, she's not like tits popping out inappropriate. She's wearing Cinnabon clothes. And this happened in Wisconsin. But the middle fingers and the goatsy and all the stuff, they fired her. And the chat says, who puts caramel on a Cinnabon? Terrorists. Yes. How dare you not care every inch of your body, harlot? Every food worker in America is like her. Well, okay. So he's also looking at her, this like husband who just wants a little more caramel. He's also calling her an MFer and just like, he's losing his mind too. Like the two of them just like belong together. They're both just losing it. And, but I have 3 ways that I think she could have handled it a lot better. And I'd like to give her now my hindsight. So she could have kept her job and told these guys to fuck off. One, because he says sexualizing your body makes you a better person. Just play the victim card. Like, sir, I'm just trying to serve you a Cinnabon. Like, the fact that you're looking at me and sexualizing me makes me feel very uncomfortable. Security, and that's it. You don't need to, like, just play the victim. Security, and tell him to screw off. 2, just be, like, super patriotic and just tell him, like, this is America. We don't wear hijabs here. So, you know, if you want to come to my Cinnabon, you're going to see Americans wearing when in Rome, sir. So maybe you should get your wife a t-shirt and jeans and let her walk around an American mall like an American. Could have tried that. Could have been spicy. But my number 3 is a plot twist. I would just tell the man, I identify as a man, so I don't have to wear a burqa or a hijab or whatever the fuck it is. And just be trans. You can be trans for 30 seconds. I think people do it.
Please call me by my correct pronouns.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
She did say suck it. So that kind of would have gone along with it, I think.
Well, like you said about the video, it's really hard to know just how much agitation was going on before the camera came out and they started recording. And you can tell even from the video that's out there, it's clipped up. So they've cut out exchanges between them and only kept the most nastiest part. And, you know, we don't know, does this particular person maybe have a mental issue? I don't know. Maybe she's just fed up and sick and tired of dealing with this stuff from everybody that walks in the door and gives her hell. It's hard to know. Those service jobs are tough jobs to have. and you know, you're going to wind up dealing with some of the worst in society. People always trying to pull a scam or do some other kind of stuff, you know, for free food or whatever. But you know, so it's hard to know exactly what. But yeah, she was definitely pushed over the edge and using the nastiest language that she could use and saying stuff. But you know, I think it takes a lot to get a person to that point. You know, most people are not that way.
And just imagine, because I mean, he's still calling her a motherfucker and stuff, and he knows that he's the one recording like a Karen. Ooh, we got you now. But like, and that's the most that he can get his shit together to make it look like he just wanted a little more caramel.
Was he from Somalia?
I think they were, yeah.
Uh-huh.
They're definitely Muslim.
Yeah. Well, Somalians are getting a lot of airtime right now, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, Chris and I were just bitching about our tax money just moments before we went online. So, yeah.
Yeah, I did some of that today.
Paid some taxes?
Bitched about taxes.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I was whining and saying, I feel like a slave. You don't feel like a slave?
Oh, yeah, you were. That's why you got a birth certificate and a driver's license.
Right.
That's your government ID.
And I'm not happy about it. You know, I'm not particularly happy about it. It feels like most days when I show up to work, I feel like I'm bending over and just taking it. It's not. Anyway.
Yeah, I think, well, so if we pay a third of our paycheck just in income taxes, so that's going to be like 4 months out of the year. My property taxes are another 2.5 months out of the year. So now you're like over half the year, and this tax and sales tax and fuck you tax and insurance and all that stuff. And it's like, when do I even eat a burrito? Like, life has been really tricky for me financially right now. And like, how does anybody do it? We're all going to have to break the system. Like, listen, if you tax me one more penny, I'm going to go on welfare. Because why not? If everybody else is on it. I've been working since 1983 paying taxes. And like, I've never been on a cruise. I've never owned a designer handbag. Like, I'm not blowing my fucking money. I'm just trying to live. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox about that. Well, speaking of Somalia, because we can get back to this other stuff, but I know we wanted to get into the ICE raids, and I know you want to talk about New Orleans, and Chris was looking at some stuff about Minnesota.
Yeah, I guess they were going after the Somali population in Minnesota and grabbing people up, and supposedly they got a couple of U.S. citizens, but you know, how long were they citizens, and did they have everything in order? But yeah, there was some stories when I went to look for the New Orleans story that you had discussed. That's what I found was the arrest in Minneapolis. So they're apparently ICE is working all over the place right now.
Yeah, and in the Catahoula, it's Operation Catahoula Crunch.
Couldn't they have found something a little more phonetically like?
I need to know how they come up with that. It might be funny, you know. Maybe it's the dogs. They're Catahoulas. They're dogs. I don't know. Yeah, but so apparently, like all the BLM and are going out there. Having press conferences and all of that, and calling them immigrants, not illegal immigrants, not criminals. So in my mind, this is what I think. So there's been a lot of that, and I've been watching. I don't ever go on Facebook, but I found myself stuck on Facebook, just scrolling because every time they arrest one, they put the whole story of what happened. You know, they fought, who who was fighting with them about it, and government agencies and DHS, and like who the people, they're put them on blast, like who is like fighting with them and trying to harbor them and whatnot, so, and I did a thread on it, and I can't really say it word for word what this guy was saying. I wish I could just put it on there and put it up here and y'all could watch it, but I do have a thread. I can put it in the chat. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. And give your and you're talking about on X?
Yeah.
And give your X handle to people that are going to watch it later and won't see the chat.
At Twisted 17 Sister. And I'll put that in there. But yeah, it's got all the right people pissed off. They're all the right ones are pissed off. And lots of rapists, people with rap sheets a mile long, and they keep saying, well, they've arrested 2,000, but only 9 of those were gang members. And I'm like, and that's the way NOLA, the local newspaper is putting it, but they've arrested more than that in gang members. But it doesn't, who cares? Gang members or not, they're here illegally. They're getting paid. They're getting driver's license. They're getting health care. They're getting housing. They live better than we do.
I know. I'm about to say no tengo papeles like any minute now. Just fucking like.
The crazy part is like if you try to come through the proper channels and do everything the way you're supposed to, it could take a decade to get your citizenship and everything else. And I know people who have come here every year to visit family, and they get hassled when they come here. And like, how the hell can these people come here and live and get all this free stuff, but they can't even come and visit relatives? It's ridiculous. Right.
Yeah. So I looked up a little bit because obviously I'm not in New Orleans. I've actually never been to New Orleans, and I'm a creepy girl. I feel like I should go. But so I saw that their goal was, I know. Well, first I have to see if my concealed pistol license works down there, because I don't know that I just want to be walking around willy-nilly. But so their goal was 5,000 apprehensions. I mean, I do like that they have a goal, but also you don't want to just like go for numbers. Like I feel like quantity is better, or quality is better than quantity, especially when you've got so many people that are upset. Like, all they did was steal your tax money for 25 years and they got away with it for so long. You should let them just keep doing it. Like, because there was a lot of people that were very upset in these like news clips that I watched. And in fact, one lady said that she had only been in her apartment building for 9 years, and this family was going back to Nicaragua, I think, and they had little kids. And she said, I've been here for 9 years, and this family has been here that whole time, and now they have to leave. They've got to go back to Nicaragua, and they've been here, for forever. And it's like, you made more kids while you were here. Those are like anchor babies. Now do the paperwork. You made an American, so now do the paperwork. Like, just at some point, and I don't know, but it seems to me like the overarching thing, because there were so many people saying that they were afraid. Like, I'm not afraid when I drive around and I see the police, because I don't have any warrants. I'm not like wanted for anything. And so I'm not afraid. So if you had 25 years to fill out this paperwork and you just didn't do it, I don't know what to tell you, but at some point we have to make a dividing line in the sand. And of course, this is the neighbor. She doesn't know if her neighbor is a gang member, raped somebody, whatever. But at any rate, so she was crying, saying, and these were like little kids. So I just think that education maybe is like the biggest part of it, that citizen, there's nothing to be afraid of. And if you're an illegal citizen, like, get your shit together. there was warning after warning after warning. And if that means you guys have to go back to Nicaragua and, do the teary goodbye, well, you got away with it for 25 years. But now, there's some paperwork to do. If you ever want to come back, there is a way. You just leave, and then you can fill out the paperwork and come back in. So she said they never did anything. But I think that's the problem. They never did anything. They never even filled out the paperwork. And it's like, do you want somebody coming to your housewarming party that's kicks open the door without an invitation and critiques your cupcakes and didn't even bring a casserole? That's not who you want at your party. So
and you got to pay taxes too.
Right. And, just because and listen, I have arrested people that have, their whole thing is but everybody steals this, but everybody blows through the stop sign, but everybody. And it's well, it's your lucky day. You're the one I caught. So you could have deported, gotten one-way ticket and $1,000. Heather says, yeah, I mean, I don't know that they were paid to leave or not. They could have been because the neighbor didn't really know. But I think that we just need to educate people, legal and illegal, that this is what they're doing. They're going after criminals right now, and they're getting murderers and rapists, and we should all be happy for that. One thing I saw, well, first of all, the New Orleans City Council has this website where you can report ICE for any civil issues that you see, or if you see any human rights violations, you can rat on ICE because they're we want to know what they're doing, in our town. Okay, whatever. So then I saw 2 other interviews, and one of them was this Catholic church, St. Jerome. Are you near New Orleans?
About 40 miles north.
Okay.
Yeah. So
this St. Jerome church, they talked to Father Luis Duarte, and he's talking about how all of his parishioners are scared. He's the biggest Catholic church, I guess, in the area. He says that usually on Tuesdays, he has 120 children preparing for their confirmation, going to class. And this week, he only had 12. And this is very concerning to him. He needs this stuff to end. He doesn't want the feds in his church. He says they haven't come yet, and I hope they don't. And that parishioners need to be treated like humans. But then, the sad thing of it is this guy, it's just if he was to run a yogurt shop. Of course he doesn't want any consequences or fines or anything for his customers because he wants to keep his yogurt shop open.
Well, New Orleans is a hotbed of organized crime, and they're all. You've got Mardi Gras, and everybody knows it's a clusterfuck of corruption, and and you've got NGO, and you've got nonprofits, and you've got all of that money getting funneled into these churches, and these illegals bring them money for humanitarian aid. You know what I mean? So. And just like the guy that I made on the video, it's a video of him giving a speech, and I couldn't help but sit in here and think, okay, so you probably have people in the government, local government, that works with you, right? You're a contractor. All these illegals are getting shipped out. They're working for you. Your little side hustle is, and they're probably not paying taxes. I can't help but to go through these scenarios in my head and see the little pyramid scheme of everything that's going on, from government down to these people that are screaming and wanting to take it to the streets and protest, and they're upholding members of the community. And in their BLM. So
Mhm.
it's, and then you've got the Catholic priest, and they're like,
And he
most
said, we
Catholics,
just need to pray. We need to pray.
most of them
He's-
here in Louisiana are liberals. I mean, I
He
hate
very
to
much
be-
was. He said that one of his parishioners was arrested, and only because of an issue with documents. Like, no, it's not an issue. If I'm driving your car because I hotwired it, it's not an issue of documents. Like, it's more than just documents. Like, you came over here, you settled. Like, the tax issue, it is interesting, and it does sort of piss me off. Obviously, I pay a lot of fucking taxes, and I will be retiring when I'm 904 years old. But
never.
but also, I don't think just because somebody comes in and pays taxes that it's okay. It's like, oh
Right.
yeah, I walked out on my bill, but I was very nice to the waitress. Like, I don't care about that part. So it doesn't negate the fact that you did this illegal thing. And
Right.
just like what Chris is saying is like, there's a lot of people, and it might take a really long time to come here. My best friend, Monica, rest in peace. It took her a long time, and it took her thousands of dollars to be able to do the paperwork to come here legally. And, she had to promise to never, ever be on welfare. And there just should be things in place that, yeah, if you want to come here, you have to provide something. And just like, okay, well, what do you have to offer America? And let it be an essay that should be in English, because that should be our national language. And then to say, well, I have to offer, I like to fuck a lot of guys and make a lot of babies, and hopefully someone will pay for me. Like, reject, next. Like,
Yeah.
we should be able to sort of go, oh, you are, a chemist, and you discover,
There's a lot of countries that will not allow you to be, on the public charge, so to speak, for like 7 years when you enter the country. So the chance of have your stuff together, if you want to move there, you better have a job lined up and a place to live and all this kind of stuff set up
Yeah.
to move there, or you can't move there. They don't just allow you to come in and say, hey, just show up here and we'll provide you with a hotel and free food and everything
Right.
you can imagine.
And that's great,
Right.
but then the
Backwards.
7 years is over, and it's like, woohoo, now you're paying for me for the rest of my life and my kids and their kids. And, you see a lot of people standing on the side of the road, like shaking a cup at your car window. It doesn't mean that they're not going to still be a blight on society. Also, I will say, as a cop for many, many years, if you tell them we're not going to give you any money for 7 years, just hold tight, sweetie. You're going to have a lot more people getting their shit broken into, stuff stolen from their stores, blah, blah, blah. People
Yep.
who are entitled, people who do shortcuts, criminal shortcuts, will find a criminal shortcut. It doesn't make them go, well, I better be a good member of society for 7 years. Like, that's not what happens. And how you weed that out is that you make there be an application process. It's just like I tell girls all the time. Sure, you can fuck a guy on the first date. He's probably not going to call you again, though, because there's not that, like, chase. There's not earning you. He doesn't value you. You're free roadkill. Like, could it happen? Could a one-night stand turned into a 60-year marriage? I don't know. Try it. Let me know. I'll talk to you in 60 years. But it's just not likely. And I think a lot of what our laws are is a risk assessment. We don't go faster than this because of the risk of accidents, and the common person can't handle driving much faster than that and all that stuff. So I don't know. Heather says, even Jesus went to the temple, flipped the tables, and cracked his whip. COVID was much more than most will ever realize. And it used to be that you used to have to be sponsored by a family here, not live off the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
I'm not sponsoring shit. I make my bunnies earn their parsley. Okay. But there was this other interview that I wanted to talk about, Twisted, because I got into it because I didn't really know anything about that was going on in New Orleans. And I was watching this one interview that was really fascinating. They had this guy. This interview, speaking of COVID, Heather, occurred this freaking week, and the dude is wearing a mask in public.
In New Orleans?
Okay, yep.
In New Orleans?
He's wearing a mask. Yep.
Yeah. And it's
He's
hot.
wearing a mask. And so this news reporter is talking to this guy, and his drag name is Mother Tucker. And he has already given out, according to the newscaster, 350 whistles to Hispanics. He's given out these whistles. He's like, oh, no, you're black. You're Asian. You're white. Oh, Hispanic. Here's a whistle. Here's a whistle. To 350 Hispanics, she said. And so I kind of looked him up just because, like, he was obviously against the ICE raids. And basically, he's giving out these whistles because he's like, if you see something, blow the whistle. This is what his whole thing is, this whole campaign. This is why he's ordering more whistles. He wants everyone to whistle anytime you see an ICE agent, which I can just tell you, like, being a cop, if you blow my cover when I'm trying to sneak up on a violent offender, and now I have to draw my gun out because I have the reasonable belief that the tactical situation could elevate to the point where serious bodily injury could occur, then you have just escalated what could have been a just knock, come on out, we got you, dude, all right, let's go. So I say that to say this guy wants everybody to blow whistles. Like, you're making it worse. It's not making them go away, sir. You're just being an asshole. So anyway, I looked into him. I'm like, who is this guy blowing the whistles? Like, so he's a professional bedazzler. He does these like rhinestone demons and like costumes for pride events. I went through his Facebook feed because I love to dig. I got nothing to dig on anymore because I'm not a detective anymore. But he's smoking drugs, and he does this like whatever art of these like really distorted babies, like weird baby art with baby dolls and sex toys, and like bragging about some fight he was in that the guy got all fucked up, and I'm 100% fine. And like, and then I just started to go further because it was just such a shit show. And then I saw that he had a seizure, and I'm like, oh, I know what's coming here. Oh, there he goes. He was just vaccinated. So anyway,
Wow.
I don't really want to add it. But anyway, so he was saying like, oh, you know, fuck the police being here, blah, blah, blah. But I did.
I may have to find this guy.
Oh, he's easy to find. He's Mother Tucker. I mean,
I'm sure.
So here's a post of his from 2021. Every business around me that did not stay has been broken into. This is not a joke or an exaggeration. Police have not been patrolling the area at all. I have had to be the police for my area. Like, he needs the police, guys. The police need to come and save him. Which I just thought was so funny because now he's handing out whistles because the fucking police are there. Sir. Ma'am, sir, whatever the fuck you are, like, chill out.
There's a lot of queens.
Yeah. But it was weird because then I decided, I was like, let's take this time machine even further. Let me just go see the Eloy and the Morlocks. Like, let's fire it up. And then, like, before COVID, he was kind of just like a normal guy that I probably would have been friends with. It was all just about like art and having fun and friends, and like,
Isn't
he
that
was
amazing?
kind of normal. Yeah, it was
And
like
how the world just went fucking batshit crazy. Pardon my French. Like, from COVID to and now everybody's trans. It's the fad.
Yeah.
It's the thing.
I loaded it, but I'm not going to add it to the stage. He added some really like XXX cartoons of men licking other men's buttholes.
You know what I think? I think COVID.
Don't worry, Chris. I'll send it to you later.
No, that's okay.
I think COVID like literally opened Pandora's box. So the things that everyone was kind of holding back, it made them feel liberated, and they took off their masks.
Do you think they
It's
took off their
crazy.
masks, or do you think that they changed? Do you think this is who that guy was before? I mean, I don't know.
Well,
I
in
just
his private life, he's probably living out his private life out loud now. Like instead
because
of
I did see that
and
the stuff. I mean, I love crazy stuff. I'm like 2 feet from some neon fur right
I
now
mean,
because I'm
babies
doing something.
and sex toys, baby dolls. Come on.
Babies, sex toys, a lot of gay sex, but then
No.
the jewelry that he makes, it's not like before. It was like big, bold collars and big drop earrings and tiaras and just like fun costumes for pride events and
Yeah.
costumes and stuff. But now he's rhinestoning like devils and demons, like necklaces with like blood drops and like demons with horns and stuff.
I know, and then all of a sudden, Satan, like worshiping the devil and being that is all of a sudden a fad too. Like everybody's a devil worshiper these days too. I don't know. Were they just? Why do we see it so much now? Right?
I don't
Well,
know,
then,
but
Pisces,
When we didn't really see it that much before, right?
that's
yeah.
Aquarius. Yeah, the age of Aquarius. If
Heather
you
says,
follow
you mean like
astrological.
Obama?
True.
Well, okay. So there are, not that I'm into phrenology, although I think I've got a phrenology skull here someplace, but we know that there are areas in your brain that are responsible for empathy and motor skills and this and that and the other, whatever. We also know that these jabs found their way in concentrations, higher places than others. It also that it causes other issues. It's not unreasonable to say that it could have been, how do I want to say it? It could have secreted itself in a specific area of the brain that is responsible for cause and effect, that's responsible for impulse control, that's responsible for whatever. Let's say you do a study, an absolute, like clear, fair study, totally unbiased. And it's got the three of us and we're all jabbed and you guys are like, yeah, I got blood clots too. And I got myocarditis and I got seizures.
No.
And like, a unicorn. And they're like, all right, well, let's write it down. And then maybe nobody, I said gay unicorn and then the internet like cut me off. I don't know what that was about.
It was breaking up there for a second.
It turned into a DDoS. Like, what?
Yeah.
The helicopters? But if a bunch of people, let's say that 75% of people that got jabbed get divorced within 5 years. It's entirely possible. And there's that whole correlation, causation. Okay, cool. But what if that shit sits in the area of your brain that is responsible for mediating fight, holding your tongue, and or just being pissed off and fatalistic, and that is what caused you to have a divorce, because suddenly you couldn't stop having the fight, you couldn't be the bigger person, you couldn't walk it off, that you were being petty and cunty and all this stuff. It is possible. And so I just think like that should have been a lot more fair, that we should have looked at all of the various conditions and emergencies that happened after that and had a real fair assessment of like, yeah, actually, it could attack this area of the brain. Okay, cool. Myocarditis, we know that's a physical one, but the brain is a little bit trickier. And I think it would be my hope that these companies would put together an actual database like VAERS, where it's a lot friendlier to the end user, that could put in, it made me feel like a gay unicorn, and then you're the only one, but like, oh shit, look at this. It's not going to happen though. So,
Yeah.
I think the shots might have something in them that could possibly cause group psychosis, because it almost seems like there definitely is a group psychosis on the part of the people who did get jabbed, but I'm not sure if it's like what came first. But there has been patents in the U.S. Patent Office since the 80s that will let any monitor, TV monitor, computer monitor, anything you stare at very long to alter your mood, implant thoughts, cause people to be irrational, that kind of thing. So like they've had the technology for a long time. I don't know if they necessarily needed the shot for that, but they could definitely do that through the shot. But with the radio waves and everything else that we're bombarded with every day, we all have a Wi-Fi tower in our house probably, and Bluetooth signals and everything else. So they, any of that can affect you. And we all know that every human being has their own unique resonance and vibration kind of level, so they can identify you and mess with you if they want to, very down to a science now. So it would be hard.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Yeah.
I mean, you remember when Max Headroom got caught, or MTV got caught doing subliminal messages, like during a Pepsi commercial or some shit like that?
Mm-hmm.
And we think, and then they were caught, and we think that's the last time they ever tried it.
Oh no.
Right. And it's interesting though, because I was never really a foil hat type. I mean, I had blue hair, played drums in a punk band, not well, but it's not like I was some kind of I want to know about the world and the government, although I don't know, maybe I guess the punk rock spirit says the government's bullshit. But now it's real interesting because the punkers are kind of just the ones that are no, you have to slurp the Kool-Aid. You have to do everything in lockstep with us because we're punk rock. And
the metalheads too. It was just tripping me out. Metalheads, you're supposed to be the rebels, and you're going for the system. You're telling everybody to follow the rules when we're not supposed to do. I mean, the punks and the metals, they're all fake and gay.
Yeah. I think you guys are about the same age as me, so you probably heard Rage Against the Machine, right? And,
yeah.
In the end, where fuck you, I won't do what you tell me, and they switched it up to fuck yeah, I'll do whatever you tell me, or something like that. Yeah. There was a lot of sellouts
for the machine
concerts and
Rage for the Machine, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was.
It is real dumb.
It's kind of like the hypocrisy between, the boomer age people that were very, anti-war and everything, and they seem to have lost their anti-war voice now. You don't hear a whole lot of anti-war from them. I don't know. I guess if it's not your ass that's going to be on the line and go over there, then maybe you don't care so much. But I mean, I'm too old to go, but I care a lot about that kind of stuff. So yeah, America is definitely full of selective rage and kind of hypocrisy, I guess.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I think you're in the punk rock conservative group on Facebook, Chris, I think.
Yes, I am.
But maybe not. But these groups are growing. There's Goths Against Cancel Culture and the punk rock conservatives groups, and they're really exploding, not just with people who are there for solidarity and brotherhood and fuck yeah, man, and to talk about the culture, to talk about why can't we talk about music and politics? And as we saw when they wanted us to get vaccinated to go to a concert, but then there's all these trolls that are coming into these groups, which is just fantastic. It's God, what the hell is wrong with you as a person that you're just here I am and you have to hear it. Why are you nobody cares, dude? We all came here to be away from you. No, but now I'm here. You're just dumb. Have you guys heard of the new, I shouldn't have said anything, but there's a new social media that's a Christian social media that's coming up called Tuvu or something?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah. Listen, we need an alternative because this is some bullshit. I could give you all these, error messages I've gotten just on Facebook this week alone about they're taking down my comments. And then this like girl comes into my comments about Candace Owens and she's like,
They're
she's a
still
cunt
doing that?
and she's psychotic. And I'm like, listen, there's help. Like rabies has help.
Right.
You can. And then
It's like, why do you
Facebook
care
took-
that much?
Facebook took my comment down, my reply. She comes into my thing. All I posted was my favorite GIF of Candace Owens going like, life's tough, man, get a helmet. Like that was it. And then she comes in with her like crazy rabid tirade and another thing, whatever. And so I was like, bro, calm your tits, whatever. And I wasn't even mean to her. I was just like, this is so, she was like, oh, she's a cunt and she's psychotic. She's trying to divide us. Like, did you just like come jumping on my stupid GIF to tell me that she's a cunt and trying to divide people? Like,
Right. And what is your part in this? Right?
Like, I don't care. Even if she is a cunt, like, the whole thing with dividing is like, you're trying to say that, like, I shouldn't like her? That's dividing. We should just be like,
Right.
she's a cunt, but she's one of us. Like, who cares? Anyway, it's just really dumb. But I've really been there for it because there's
Well, it's a
the hell was
shame
that?
people. the
Chris, did you
rabbit-
hear that?
Yes.
No,
It's the
the rabbits
ghost.
are in that room.
It's the
Nope.
ghost. The ghost is back.
Oh, I had to turn that light off because it was flickering before the show. But this was something
Or
else.
is your rocking chair rocking by itself again?
Listen, you fuckers. Oh, Rod said he heard it. Thank you, Rod. That's why you're my friend.
What
Go
did
for
you
me.
say?
I'm gonna go check just a second. Just because if somebody needs to get shot in my house, then we'll wait until after the show's over to call 911 for them to get an ambulance. But one moment, please.
Oh, she's sitting in the rocking chair. I see your philodendron back there. It was probably the bunny.
So I'm not on X, but I probably should get a profile just to kind of poke my head in there and see what's going on. I know a lot of
Yes.
politics happens over there. And
Yes.
you're Twisted Sister. What was it
So I'm
again?
Twisted 17 sister.
Twisted 7. All right.
Yeah. And here I'll do it right now while I'm thinking. And I was going to show y'all this. Can y'all see this? Is there a glare?
A little bit of a glare.
Glare. Hold on. Let me turn this off. Can you see it now?
No.
No.
No, she froze.
Uh-oh. So there wasn't anything moved in there.
Oh, my screen went off.
Yeah, it
Can
I
froze.
hear
still
me?
hear you, Twisted.
Okay. So it's called Evil and Misery, and it's the legacy of the 13 bloodlines. And it is fantastic. It's an audiobook, and I am learning.
She's learning. That was all I heard.
Yeah, that's the last I heard.
Yeah. Dude, Chris, I don't know what's going on in this house. It sounded like it came from the kitchen. You've been here, so you know the layout. Oh, well, she'll be back. You know the layout here. Either that or it was like a deer running into my wall or something. I don't know. Hi, friend.
I don't know what happened.
I think it was your phone, Twisted. My if I happen to be playing a video game or something and somebody texts me, it'll blow my computer right offline. So it might have been.
Yeah.
Sometimes they fight, the signals will mess each other
Yeah.
up. I don't know. That's just a guess. But
Rod's blaming the ghost.
the ghost. Yeah, it could be that too. The ghost in the machine.
This audiobook, because I drive a lot and I've been listening. I'm on chapter 19. I'm on chapter 22 now. It's Adolf Hitler. They literally start with, and one thing I don't like about it is they call them the Illuminati, and I don't really like that word because I think because we got made fun of so much way back when we were crazy conspiracy theorists and it wasn't cool to be one, back then. I don't really like using that word. I call them the cabal. So, but they say this was written many, many years ago. It's the same guy that wrote the 13 Bloodlines. This is another book that he co-authors with someone else, and the timelines are all accurate. You can look it up in open source with timelines, a lot of the information. So it's pretty cool. And I think that we are in a place in this awakening that this is a necessity, like a prerequisite to your great awakening. So
I feel the same way about Candace's shit. Truly. Because these people are saying, like, she doesn't present a shred of evidence. Like, oh, there are shreds. There are shreds. And like I just feel like there's no problem with asking questions. I mean, I was a detective. Every case you ever handed me, the only thing I know for certain is I didn't do it. But everything else is open at that point. And so this guy was talking about, there's actually a cool guy on I don't know if it's the goth chat or the punk chat, but he seems pretty cool. And he was talking about the crime scene and why they paved over it right away. And so I kind of explained it a little bit from a cop's perspective, that once we gather the evidence, like, it's going to be bullshit. The moment a cop walks away from it, you've lost now your chain of custody to go, oh shit, look, and now I found this. Or anyway, so you process the scene and you let it go. And I don't know why they paved over the whole area. Like, it wasn't a good look. But also, if I was the university, like, I don't want everybody coming to this town and taking pictures right here and staging fucking like bloody whatever. And like, oh, get me laying down on the ground right here. Like, I would have done something with the area too, just because of how we've all turned into savage assholes.
That was like, for them, did they really do that? Did they really do it?
But that's a common thing, though, with a lot of these kind of events, is they'll destroy the building or, basically erase any evidence of it. So I don't know.
It's
I
not
can
evidence of it, though.
What Molly said, worried about vandalism and people doing that, but I think I would want to leave it open for independent researchers to also be able to verify.
Thank you. Because we might actually find the truth.
Might find something different, or something they missed. So,
I mean, that's interesting because we do have a lot more like mommy sleuths now, but also you have this expectation of chain of custody when it comes to a case. So if I've processed the scene, let's say, because I know like one of the theories was like, he was a hologram, there was a trap door, there was some stuff. Okay, fine, we'll let it be there. Until I'm standing on that concrete going, there's no trap door. It's just fucking concrete. So I don't need to hold that location. Now, if there was a trap door, it's not going to take me 4 years to process that scene. How does it open? Where does it go to? Like, more. Let's say there was even a projectile that had ricocheted off of the cement. All I would really need is exactly where it was, and if there was any sort of delineation as to which way it went, I would take some measurements. I would take a lot of photos, like big photos, like zoomed in photos. But I need to take the piece of cement with me. People die in the street all the freaking time. I don't need to take the freeway with me to court to prove that somebody was rear-ended. And I think that's one of the things that's kind of sad about this whole obsession over crime shows, is that we get this expectation that is not reasonable, or it just isn't real.
Yeah, with the forensics and all that.
Right.
And
That's not the way they really do it. Yeah.
no, it's
Listen,
not
if
real
you
life.
saw a murder and you're just some like lady on the bus bench, okay, what did you see? Well, there was a guy in a blue sweatshirt and he ran this way and he tried to grab a purse off a lady. She was wearing a pink dress, and then she got down and he ran. That was all I saw. And then I got on the bus and I left. Oh no, you've got to stay on the bus bench for the next 3 months. You can't go to, like, we need you to be exactly where you were. Like, no, you don't. You can corroborate stuff with evidence, photographs, trajectory. There's all kinds of forensics and prints and whatever. And then you just let the scene go. I mean, that could take an hour. It could take a couple of days. But, I mean, it would just depend. Do you have a highway in the middle of, like, a windy rainstorm that you're like, okay, well, I found the bullet casing here, but that doesn't mean that it fell right here in the third lane. Or is it a place that's a lot more secluded that you could have a little bit more control over? When it comes to, let's say, even DNA, me just talking in front of this computer, the computer is like covered with my DNA right now. But it wouldn't be covered with Twisted's DNA. But Chris has been at my house before. It's entirely possible that his DNA could be on my computer because he's been in this room. So you don't need to just take everything and everything is like the smoking gun. So I don't know. It didn't look great that I think they put in like a planter or something.
Well, the problem is that there's too many narratives being inserted into the digital realm, and it is a big clusterfuck, and it's literally to pit people against each other. It's like, yeah.
But I think
it's almost like I have to feel the signal and rise above all the noise to try to figure out what's going on. But
the noise is important because the noise is questions, and questions, all they do is separate the wheat from the chaff. What is important, what isn't? We think that there was a trapdoor. Okay, well, I actually went down there. The concrete was old, solid. There was no indication that it was a trapdoor at all. Okay, let's move on from that. Right. And it's like with these Egyptian planes. It's so interesting to me that Erica Kirk is just like really coming out strong, like fuck Candace, when like you just said that, like, oh, I forgive you, like to the guy who fucking killed your husband. And like Candace is just trying to ask questions. And if you can't handle it, if it's too much for you, then you don't need to listen to the questions. Don't watch her show. But a lot of us are very interested in this because it just seems like there are a lot of questions. There are a lot of tidbits from that initial information that was the Fed slop that they gave us that doesn't pass the sniff test. So we are looking for further answers. And Candace has come up with some. What I think is very interesting about Erica specifically is that obviously her husband was targeted by one crazy, very lucky furry or by a cabal of, reptilian overlords. Right.
He was murdered.
And so now she has just been put into this role, which theoretically would make her also a target potentially.
Oh, sure.
And so here Candace is saying, okay, so I don't know if you live in a small town or a big town, Twisted.
I'm not a fan of
I bet you
I never have
like,
been. I grew up in a small town.
Okay.
I know. And see, that's why I say that I detach and like, I've looked at her information and I'm going to it. Just because I don't like her doesn't mean that there's not some tidbits of information in there that is good. you know. But then, and with Erica, I can't even watch her. It breaks my heart because it's not really about her and him and these two women now. I mean, Charlie was a man of God. He spoke the truth. He was starting to wake up to and ask questions, and they killed him. They killed him. They had to get rid of him because he is leading the youth, the people coming next that are going to. So we're supposed to be going into the golden age. Well, that is our golden age. That age group, you know. And
so what do you think now that TPUSA is more geared towards
I won't even watch them.
Elites, this $10,000 a plate dinner that they just had and got over $40 million last weekend at Mar-a-Lago. Right. It's a big shift.
Now, honestly, I never really liked Turning Point USA. And with Charlie, I had kind of written him off as Zionist, before. And then he was asking those questions. He was starting to wake up to it. And they killed him. And now we have Candace, which is married to a rich, elite British guy. I forget what his name is. And then we have Erica, and she's got sketch all over her too. She's got sketch. She's got a lot of sketch,
Yeah.
And so but what's getting blurred out is his legacy and his message. His message is dead. Nobody's talking about it anymore.
But I think that's why it's so important to find out the why. Because once you know why they killed him, then you realize what part of his message they were trying to silence. And I mean, he had a lot of messages talking about how we can fix the economy and how we can fix society and all of this stuff.
Well, and he did everything with, like, is it the right thing? Is it godly? Is it, he talked about that a lot in The Truth. And I really think that he meant it and it come from his heart, because then he started asking the right questions, because he wanted the truth, right? And he started asking the right questions about funding and all of that kind of stuff. And
what do you think about his going back and forth with the Groypers and Nick Fuentes and that sort of outside, I wouldn't say extremists, but they're more of a fringe group on the right. And there was a lot of going back and forth. And to be honest, I didn't really know much about Charlie Kirk, his position right before he died. I only knew about, his earlier position that I knew of, which was, I don't know. I knew he was, talking the Christian role of the conservative side and that kind of thing. Right. And that was what he was promoting. So, but at the same time, he was still kind of soft on some things that I think that other conservatives had like a legitimate
concern about.
Yeah, had some issues with some of his positions, and he didn't really, quite address it the way I would. It wasn't really.
He was being PC.
Yeah.
PC.
Yes. Yeah. It really felt like he was trying to check some boxes to get some, more approval or wider acceptance, and stick to core values. But that really isn't my argument. That was more or less between him and the Groypers, and I was just wondering what you might have thought about between that.
Yeah.
What do you think about Nick Fuentes?
Oh, Lord have mercy, he's a mess. That's Cat Boy.
Yeah.
Cat Boy? What does that mean?
I don't know. He's always been a little suspicious to me. I don't know why it is that I don't like him, but
he's never had a girlfriend. He's never had a girlfriend. He lives in his.
He's like 10 years old.
No, he's not. He's like 21,
Yeah.
22 years old now, and still
Dude,
living with
I
his
didn't know
parents.
what boys were until I was like 30.
Well, he talks a big game like he's a big man, and he's on. You know, I mean,
Yeah, I just
there's
think
not one
that's
humble. There's not one humble speck in that boy.
But don't you think that's just like, I want to be on the internet?
Yes. And see, that's what we have a problem with.
That shock value.
Influencers.
Yeah.
Barf.
I don't want to lose the chat. We have Jeff over on Rumble. Hi, friend. And
Fed boy,
Pozo for Hope says
Yeah.
Fed
Yeah.
boy. Yep.
Yeah.
And then we got Pammy over on YouTube says, weird how Erica and TPUSA don't want us to question and use discernment. I should put on my glasses. Did you see what Matt Walsh said about Candace and people like us who are questioning shit? Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting. And because he was also on Tucker, they did a little clip just like an hour or two ago that basically Matt Walsh is saying, I'm not going to stop being friends with people just because people don't like her. But then he's also been pretty critical of her, and it's just like, stay in your lane. Now, not as bad as Tim Poole, who had just an absolute rabid temper fucking tantrum, calling her a cunt and all this stuff, and just screaming and freaking out about her and saying that, we got to think about the midterms, which I just think is bullshit. Listen, none of the MAGA people are straight up vote red no matter who. We were all kind of like wanting something, and we all kind of came together. I mean, I was a default Democrat. I voted Green Party before. I voted for Ross Perot. I wasn't some like Alex P. Keaton conservative that was like, yes, I will go with whatever. And so to say that, I mean, look at the three of us. Like, so we're not like, we've got the midterms to worry about.
We're not
Fuck
your
that.
cookie cutter.
Rip the Band-Aid off. We need to know like what is going on so that we can make a decision. And you're not going to just like set some new shill up and go, you must vote for that. Like, we aren't the Democrats. We aren't going to nod our head in numb unison and do what you want us to do. And I think this is really important. This is a turning point in the world right now, that you can wipe somebody off the face of the earth. And like, we don't want to look at it like Erica said, we're busy building. Like, screw you, lady. You can't play both sides, because what she's doing is she's like, part of her is saying like, I'm just a grieving mom and this is all I ask for my babies. Like, you left your babies with the babysitter to go be like boss babe CEO. Like, you're not a trad wife. Sit the fuck down. And if you are the boss babe CEO, then tell us what's going on with your company, because you guys are getting in millions of dollars this week alone. And we want to know, where is TPUSA going? Like, if you want us to donate, if you want us to support you, where is this money going? We like Charlie Kirk, but we can't help but notice that you guys have really changed a lot about what the function is and turned it into this like flashy, multi-level marketing, like, kind of like they're all life coaches or something now. And it wasn't his brand. He was very real. No. And for her to say like that she's busy building like Nehemiah or whatever, like, just sit the fuck down. Like, who's got your babies? Like, you want to say that you're like this grieving mom. Your kids just lost their dad and now they're losing your mom because you want to go make millions of dollars. And then you get pissed about Candace Owens for like having a show where people donate. Like, and I watch her chat. Like, oh,
so
she'll get $5, $20. Like,
so many people are grifting off of this tragedy. It's
not as bad as TPUSA. They were selling the shirts that he was wearing when he was killed.
Oh, I'm talking. There's many. It's coming from many different directions. It's just a big sandwich. And honestly, I've got friends on all sides of any argument, and I've really refrain from even commenting on, what I think about Erica or what I think about Candace or any of that, to just try to kind of look at everything. And I am more of a pattern observer, so to say, with
that's what Charlie had said. I've gotten really good at recognizing patterns.
Behaviors. And I know that if I wait long enough, it'll all make sense eventually, right? Instead of me taking this side or that side, or and that's all of it. I feel like it's all designed to pit us against each other and to break our unity, right? I mean, the day after he was murdered, everybody was unified. People were grieving. It was horrible. I mean, and it was, I watched him get shot. It was kind of traumatic, right? And now look at us. Everybody's at each other's throats, and and there's people aren't having healthy dialogue. We are right now, which is awesome, but I've caught myself not going on X as much, because it's just, oh dear God, it's like this one's pulling this way, this one's pulling this way, and it's like we don't have to pick sides, we just have to look at the information, but don't pick sides.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's one truth, so let's just get down to it, and it's not a side. Right. And I think the thing is, for me as a cop, I hate always saying that all the time, but it really does change the way that you kind of look at the world. Although I think I was more of an objective kind of fact gatherer even before.
But that's good, and it's necessary.
I remember I pulled over this car. Well, I didn't really pull it over. It was parked in the red zone. And I pulled up behind it because I was like, this kind of doesn't make sense. What's this guy doing parked in this red zone? I see heads in the car and nobody's getting in or out. What are we doing? It was in front of a synagogue. They have been targeted. So we're just making sure that everything's cool and that there isn't going to be somebody running to the car with a sack of money or whatever. Who knows? Yeah. And so the guy jumps out of the car and he just starts directing airplane traffic. His hands are just don't look in the car. Officer, hello, thank you so much. But, I've got it under control. I had a flat tire and I'm looking the tires are all fine. My brother's coming to help me, blah, 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 blah. And it's don't look in the car. Well, because there were people with warrants, drugs, some abused child. There was a lot of stuff going on in that car that day. And let's just say everybody came with us except for the tow truck that took the car. So, when you tell me don't look at the man behind the curtain, that's all I want to look at. And I have no problem letting a simple grieving wife grieve, but you decided you wanted to be boss babe CEO. And so we have questions about the corporation. And so then she says things that are very telling. She says, when you go after my family, my turning point family, what about your kids? Are those are they fake? Were the kids a hologram? Why aren't you at home with them? Because I think she's trying to use this whole trad wife thing to be yes, religion is everything. And we all need to get married and have babies. But now it's fuck my kids, here's millions of dollars. I don't know if you saw, but they just sued De Niro for $30 million because he made some joke about her and JD Vance. Did you see that?
No.
She sued?
I don't know if it's true. $30 million, allegedly, they want from De Niro because he said something inappropriate about her and Vance. But this is the thing. If you were home being trad wife, baking the bread and kissing the babies, nobody's going to talk about you and the fucking vice president. You come out on a big old stage and give him a big old slurpy hug and run your hand down the back of his head and people are going to fucking say shit. That's what happens when you're in the spotlight, sweetheart.
I saw that.
And listen, they have so much money. She doesn't need to be CEO. If I ever got a third date, and let's say my third date dies and he was a plumber, like it doesn't mean that I just take his tool bag and like go look at his appointment list and go into his job for him. Like
that's a good point.
It doesn't make sense. Why are you, you're not Charlie Kirk. All of these interviews are very scripted of hers, and Charlie Kirk was just him and his water bottle and his lozenges. Like that was the whole thing. It's like, let's talk.
He did. Some of it seemed like he might have had some plants in the audience to ask him scripted questions and stuff. I watched a few Charlie Kirk things, and it's sort of like Steven Crowder is about the same way, I think. They'll have some real interaction with genuine people, but there'll also be those people in the audience that ask that very specific question that he wants to answer so that they can have that exchange and stuff. I'm not saying it's all fake, but I know that sometimes they do slip.
That could happen because a lot of times people ask the same question and they could just go, does anyone here want to talk about abortion? All right, come up. Does anyone here want to talk about trannies? Like, all right, come up. That totally does happen. But I think
what it looks like.
Part of the conversation is organic and straight from his savant head.
Well, I do know they study up for that. They get kind of prepared and kind of go over it and say, what if somebody's going to bring up this stuff? Anything that's a talking point on a college, they're going to have kind of
that's possible
about it a little bit beforehand. But going off on a conspiracy kind of thing where I like to go, and hopefully this doesn't upset anybody, but I think the reason there's been so much kind of cold indifference on Erica's part is I don't think that Charlie's really dead. I'm not sure that he's really dead. I know that sounds shocking to you, but
no, it's not shocking.
But have you guys heard what Grok supposedly said about the shooting? They actually got a response from AI, and according to Grok, there was like no way it could have been a rifle. If anything did hurt him and was lethal, it was something that was packed on him, like a part of his mic setup or something exploded and killed him, or something like that, or it was just fake because there wasn't enough blood, as far as the quantity, and the pattern, everything was wrong for what they claim to have happened. So the official story does not fit like forensics and the evidence that we have through video, which is like there should be a supersonic snap, there should be a report from the muzzle and all the stuff that is absent from the audio of the shooting. So the conclusion by Grok was something blew up on Charlie, and that's what the sound came from. It wasn't a shot that came in, it was something that blew up on him. But
if there was an autopsy, not an autopsy, like that would be information we need. If your heart stops pumping, then you're not like shooting blood anymore. You would like spill it if you're moved like a teapot would.
Well, as I said in the previous episodes or some of your other shows, that I don't think he got hit by a 30-06. And having seen some ballistic tests, I'm pretty certain that he didn't get hit by a 30-06 because
Ian Carroll and Candace have been both showing ballistics gun dudes shooting shit, going through cinder blocks, all kinds of stuff. Those are worth watching. And I think Ian Carroll was talking today or yesterday about like, so it went in the neck and then it bounced off the skin, but then it broke all these vertebrae. Like it's just, rounds can do some crazy things. And they can move around, but that's, your skin being a Kevlar web that's going to send it back the other direction. I haven't seen that. I did want to say, Pammy says, Erica said on multiple interviews, Shabbat Shalom, which is not a Christian saying, but none other than a Jewish saying. TPUSA has been successfully infiltrated. I did see those. In fact, I saw her getting interviewed by that Barry Weiss on CBS, who's been accused of being a radical Zionist. And then on Glenn Beck, where she gets really serious and she goes, the truth is very clear. But it's like, well, then share it. Like all we're doing is asking questions. And the fact that they did this like shill fake invitation to Candace saying like, okay, we can only do it when your show is on, but you also have to be here. Like, don't you realize that she just had her life threatened? And let's say that that was fake. The whole world has heard that she has had her life threatened. And now TPUSA says, unlike every other guest we have, you need to get on a plane and you need to come here.
Correctly,
which makes people go like, well, why? Even if TPUSA was safe, like, she might not be safe in the rental car. She might not be safe at the hotel. Like, what are you guys doing? You have so many people just like coming remotely. Like, you guys are here. And like, we're nobody. We make no money. TPUSA just made $40 million and you can't do a Zoom chat? Call me. I'll walk you through it. It just doesn't seem right. But then Tim Poole, during his chaos, he kind of...
Oh, my gosh.
I don't know. So he says... He's talking to one of his guys. I've never watched his show before. Don't know, don't care, whatever. And he said,
Kango hat. Kango.
You have, oh, I know. That was kind of my favorite part is that Candace gets real petty sometimes. And I really do like it, actually. She gets real cunty. And she said,
she does that.
Casually making these comments. And this comment says, what do you think his beanie smells like? Like, you didn't have to read that out loud. You wanted to read that out loud.
Because he wears it every day.
And you know what? She did it another time too. I think this was right before Erica came out against Candace. And she said something like kind of sly, cunty about Erica that I don't think the boys would understand. But she was talking, I think you'll see, Twisted, that she was trying to be a cunt. And I don't think Chris will read it that way. So, yes, she did call him Beanie Shapiro. And she also called him Timothy Smollett because I guess, like, he said that there was a shooting in his house. And
I think this is the second one.
Around.
Or somebody else.
Yeah, I do believe that, like, something happened. Like, but so she's talking about, her friend Charlie and... this is Candace saying like, and I was going through old text messages and he wasn't a very good dresser. And, so sometimes I had to help him, like when he would be going on a date with, one of the many girls. And he would show me like, oh, can I wear this? And I'd be like, you can't wear that. Like, if you like this girl, you are not wearing that shirt. And like, basically you, Chris, probably think it's about her reminiscing over her friend and how Charlie like wasn't a good dresser. But Twisted and I both know she's saying, Erica, you fucking bitch, I was here for all the girls before you.
Yeah.
I helped him on a bunch of different dates. He liked a lot of girls before you. So I thought that was really fun.
To piss her off because he was such a good little Christian boy, and the Erica is how isn't she older than him?
Looks to be.
I don't know.
I would like to know that. But I mean, she was
know.
In Miss USA, and was it Miss USA?
I don't follow her at all. But
I think she was
her past is sketch. I'm gonna go ahead and say it.
But whether or not her past is sketch, her parents' past is sketch, like it doesn't really change that. Like, we just want these questions answered. And it's sort of like the whole thing that Candace said, just like right up front, like, were you born, Jean-Michel Trogneau? Did you physically give birth to these children? Like, there were just like basic questions. And instead of answering any of them so that Candace could move on to Blake Lively or some other, story, they decided to sue her. Like, I mean, tell me you're guilty without telling me you're guilty. We used to have a thing in LAPD. It was called a door check. You pull up hot to a group of people on a corner, you pop the door, and the ones that are holding always run. It's consciousness of guilt. And so the ones that don't have any guns or drugs on them just stand there like, what the hell just happened? And you've got two running, westbound, and you're just putting it out like, okay, we got something. I don't know what they have, but they know they have something. And so it's that, like, why can't you just answer questions? Why do you have to make this whole big like pageantry thing about how you need to come to TPUSA and you have to let me know by the end of the hour? Like, that it shouldn't be like that. You're running a show. Like, somebody could get in the back chat right now and I could add them. Like, it's just, that's how it works.
It's like watching an episode of the Game of fucking Thrones, straight up. I mean, you've got Candace. She's married to some billionaire in Britain, and then you've got Erica. And you know what? I'm not in either one of their corners. I'm not. Like,
yeah, I'm not.
I will not be backing either one of them because they're not going to back me. You know,
I back the one that's still looking for answers. And I really respect and appreciate her for taking one for the team. Kind of reminds me of this picture here.
How does that old saying go?
But she's been doing this for 10 years.
She's been doing what?
She's been on her soapbox about something. This is the next thing for 10 years.
Yeah. Rod's in the chat. Erica was Miss Arizona and she's 37. So yes, she was older than Charlie.
Oh, thank you, Rod. Thank you for looking at that.
Yeah, so I just, if hopefully nothing ever happens that terrible to anybody else on this planet, but if something was to happen to me like that, I mean, you know, Randy and I have talked about it, and Randy's like, I would be Candace. Like, I would do everything I could do. And the fact that Candace has a platform and access to people through her tips at CandaceOwens.com or whatever it is, only helps her. Like, imagine if you just like worked at a grocery store and accidentally walked in the parking lot when some transaction was going on and you were smoked. Like, there's probably a lot of people who have been killed for things that we just don't even know about. We're like, oh God, that's such a freak accident that they got hit by a bus. And, you know, and who knows, but, I did think it was interesting that no matter what Tim Poole went through at his house, he was kind of doxing Candace in a way, because he was talking to some guy, I don't know if it's a co-host or a guy that works behind the scenes, and was like, you went to her house, didn't you? And you said there was only like one fat guy and a 4-foot wall. Like, she doesn't even have any security. And it's interesting because she has said that this shit's going on. So I think that's what he was getting at, was for saying that she's got this target. I don't see evidence of it at her house, which is interesting because then the whole thing came out where like TMZ was like, nothing even happened at his house. And everyone's like, dumb TMZ, you called the wrong police station. That did. There is a report. So, but for him to say she doesn't have any security at her house, it could either be making her more of a target, like, hey guys, the coast is clear, or calling her out and saying, like, you say all this shit's going on, but I don't see the amount of security that I should see. She might not even be staying home. We don't know. But then, and I'll release all the footage from my shooting to TMZ. But then I guess TMZ didn't want to look at it. I don't know. But I wouldn't release the footage, Tim Poole. Listen to your auntie. Because if you are being targeted, like, honestly and truly, like, I want everybody to be safe, don't release the footage. Who gives a shit if anybody believes you? What you don't want out there is for the bad guys to know where your camera angles are, where your camera placement is, where the hidden areas, the blind spots of your system are. You don't want people to know that. That's your security system. You don't release that. Who cares if anybody believes you or not? Don't release it. That's all I have to say about that.
I don't believe him.
So
Why not?
Whatever came about the last, I stopped watching with the whole thing that she was saying that Paris tried to kill her.
Yes,
the French was trying to kill her.
Where
and that was like that was like 4 or 5 fights ago with different people. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just I get lost in the.
Yeah,
it's just,
it was
the
somebody
one dude that originally was investigating Brigitte Macron or whatever her name is, Brigitte Macron.
Yes,
he did die in a kind of a mysterious way, I guess. So it's not like unheard of, or it hasn't already
Well,
kind
true.
of happened that way, you know. So I don't know if it's necessarily the level of being around a Clinton or anything, but you know, it could be, you know, kind of sketchy to be on the wrong side
Well,
of
and his
people,
wife's
you
a
know.
man.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't doubt that at all, but
He's got a strong. She
Yeah.
does. Mm-hmm.
as I told I told Molly, I said, I think the reason that she went after Brigitte Macron is because she couldn't go after Big Mike. But I don't want to open that can of worms right now.
Right.
Yeah. But it is, it's drawing a parallel between the two, and it's pretty, you know, to me, it's obvious, I guess.
But was Big Mike trying to out Brigitte Macron?
No.
No.
It was just that one journalist from France, and it hadn't even really hit mainstream media. And
I mean,
she
if you
just
can
thought it
make
was kind of
people-
like a fun story. She didn't think she was getting into some crazy can of worms.
If you can make people think about that at a level and say, you know, is it possible that world leaders like the president of France is actually married to a trans person? Could that happen somewhere else? And they might start looking a little closer, and you know, some of these things that they overlooked before, they might start paying more attention to. You know, I mean, do you know what? Oh God, I forget her name. Joan Rivers said just before she died that we already
Everybody
had the
knows.
Yeah, so
Please, she's a tranny. Everybody knows.
yeah, and then she winds up dead in a normal kind of operation and stuff. So
Yeah.
I guess that's why I'm
Well-
so skeptical of any official story that comes out, like the Charlie Kirk thing. And I guess if you ask me what is the real motive behind all this and all the noise that have come of this, is, well, we're not talking about the wars or the Epstein list. We're talking about
Right.
this studs.
That
so.
is true. Yeah, that is true. Well, so part of it, I think, is if Erica is really going after the truth or wants to know about her husband, then I think she would be more interested in the offerings that Candace has for her, like the Egyptian planes. And so with the Egyptian planes, that's where it connects to France and Israel and American military. So the planes are owned by the Egyptian military, and I'm not going to go through all of the everything. You guys can go watch it. But essentially, they thought that these Egyptian planes, were following Charlie Kirk. But then they realized that it actually is following Erica Kirk's schedule. And so all over the world, 68 times, these planes have followed Erica Kirk. Now, in your town or your city, there are probably 3 or maybe 4 grocery stores that you go to. But in the world, there are a lot of airports and there are a lot of airplanes.
Not a coincidence, theorist.
For the same motherfucker to be behind you at your grocery store 68 times, it should concern you. That is very concerning. Why? And so Erica's just like, we got him. We got our lucky furry, and that's it. Don't look. Stay in your lane. Think about the midterms. Keep donating to TPUSA. Is just... To me, that means she must know that there's something there, because otherwise, I'd be on the phone to Candace right away and go, what do you know? Do I need to get out of my house? What the fuck is going on? Are you safe? This is what we can say reasonable, whatever. She could just be full of people all around her going no, it's totally fine. We looked into it. It was totally bullshit. Candace made it up. She doesn't have a shred of evidence. Just go out there, get on that stage, make sure you look great. Here's a tissue. Who knows who's around her? Because everybody around her also, she could just be a dumb puppet that everybody is telling you look beautiful, everybody loves you, and she doesn't really have an awareness that the whole world is looking at her what the fuck. So
Right. She might not.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, go out there and dance, monkey, and
Well,
make
one
that
thing
money.
I do know is what is not being talked about with all of this, because this is dominating the headlines and everybody's this is election integrity in the Fed. Those are important. They're more important than this, you know, to think about it. That's getting, and that's another reason why I start to ignore stuff and try to, you know, and I hate watching. I've been in this movement for before before Q. I was a conspiracy theorist before it was cool, you know, before it was cool to be one. And yeah, like all this is noise.
I think most of the conspiracy theorists, us conspiracy theorists, were always skeptical, even as children. I think that's kind of a common thing I've known since when you talk to them, like, yeah, I've always been that way, even since I was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
But can't you walk and chew gum at the same time? Like, to me, it's just like a video game. Like, okay, maybe it's not the like main monster, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't like get past this level on our quest towards other things. And yes, election integrity is huge, but also if your candidates are all paid for by those we cannot speak of, then it doesn't matter if the voting tabulates correctly if the fucking candidates are pickled anyway.
Yeah.
So I think it's all kind of interconnected.
We need a significant fucking arrest. We need somebody to be pert walked. We need it in a big way. People like me do, because I'm tired. You know?
Then my internet went down again. What the hell?
Uh-oh. Yeah, you froze like this.
I don't know.
I don't know if we'll ever get that kind of justice twisted, because it would be there would be so many people. I joke frequently about filling up FEMA camps with these guys, but that you literally could, there would be so many people that would get implicated in there, and to sweep and really dig out and get all the problem out. We ain't gonna have much of a government left.
That would be fine with me. I mean, think about why do we need them? Why do we need them?
Oh, we definitely
They're not doing anything for us. They're doing things.
We already have chaos. We already have a hot mess.
I'm good
with the Band-Aid off.
I mean, I'll go up in there and push some buttons, and what it's going to take is people like us taking their jobs. But I don't know what the solution is to everything, and what that looks like. I mean, for us to have an empty government and then we just run in there, but that's not practical. But
power concedes nothing, and it never has, and it never will. And so, short of almost like a bloody revolution, I don't know what change we're really going to get. I don't believe that we can vote our way out of this.
No.
We would need such a massive change. You would have to get rid of virtually everybody that's in the government now. And but then there's all the bureaucrats and everything that we can't change. All those people that are. Did you ever hear anything from John McAfee, the guy that did the McAfee?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear what he said about the deep state? His explanation of what the deep state actually was.
I can't.
It was all these bureaucrats and these people that have lifetime appointments who we can't change, and no matter who we vote for, they're going to remain there, and they can effectively create policy. Well, while they may not be able to create policy, they can choose whether to enforce it or not. So they're kind of ultimately in control, and we need a full shift to get rid of all those people, and that would be
they're all puppets.
The problem with that is it would mess up the government so bad it would sort of be analogous to trying to repair your car while driving it down the road. You know, the government's going to have to pull over and get off the road and stop for a minute, and that's going to cause a lot of problems, not only for us Americans, but around the world. So, but it is, to me, it is something that if you want a real change in America, it's going to need something radical. It's not going to happen in an election or even a handful of elections. You know,
no, it's going to have to be like military tribunals.
Yeah, like there's definitely some,
that.
you know,
yeah.
Well,
yeah, but if we are as pickled as we think, then just low-hanging fruit. It's like when the Cuomos got shit canned, like almost at the same time. Like they were champions for the whole scamdemic narrative, and then all of a sudden they thought that they were like higher up on the pyramid than they were, and then all of a sudden they were like ousted and like, we don't need you anymore, full steam ahead, you're not even on this pyramid anymore. So if we did have perp walks, like I don't trust made. Yeah, it might look good, but I don't know that it's going to be somebody high up.
It may look good, but it also will make a statement and make people. It will put the fear of God in people. In certain.
Oh no, they've gotten away with so much.
Huh?
They've gotten away with so much. Like, what level are you talking? Are you talking like we're going to have Pizzagate arrests and frazzle drip and?
You don't even know where my mind goes. I can't. I mean, I'm good with hangings. I'm good with it. I can watch it.
I don't want to kill him. I don't want to kill him. I do want to put him in, you know.
No, I want him gone.
I want them to witness their mechanism getting torn down and see all the things that they were working for get reversed. And I want them to witness that and see that we undid all their damage.
How about just like cameras, Epstein Island, make it like Naked and Afraid, and drop them all on the island and make them like have like Lord of the Flies.
And let's make it a production.
Whatever devolves on the island, you know,
like
whatever.
They do us.
Yeah.
Let's make it a production.
The actual proper punishment for them is whatever they had planned for us is what we should do to them. So, you know.
Thank you. Pay-per-view. An eye for an eye. Back to the Old Testament.
We'll sterilize all you and put you in FEMA camps, and you can live out your communist dream there. And
we're going to feed you. But then make it pay-per-view.
Fake meat and sprayed pesticides on your fruits and vegetables and make you eat fake 3D printed meat.
Yeah, here's your pink slime burgers.
Yeah.
Rod says, just not naked. I don't want to see any of them naked. Jeff says, start with tar and feathers and we can go from there.
Yeah, there we go. A couple of tar and feathers. That'll put the fear of God in.
Wow. You guys are out for
take them out of town on a pole, just like they used to.
Yeah, well, we did have a lot less crime when we had a town square, is all I'm saying. But yeah, I don't know. It's we've really devolved into Lord of the Flies savagery. But then we're just like letting a-holes just walk the earth. Hey, did you see that one guy who was acquitted? I think it was Portland. Of course it was Portland. 2 homeless guys. One of them walks up on the other one, allegedly to see if the guy wanted to trade a knife for some cigarettes. Although just accidentally, an argument ensues and he stabs him with the knife. Oh, and then when the guy turns around, the other hobo, so there's like hobo 1 that's got the knife. He's black. It comes into play. Hobo 2, white guy sitting on the bench. They both have long rap sheets. They live on the streets, whatever. There's always fights that go on. But so black hobo comes over with the knife and allegedly, sir, I would like some more caramel on my Cinnabon, please. And the white guy just jumps up and like pushes him, like, get away from me, whatever. He gets stabbed. So he goes to court, and now the black guy says, after I stabbed him, he called me the N-word. So that's why I did it. Like, because you're psychic and you knew he was going to call you the N-word? Like, it just really didn't make sense. But they acquitted him. No charges at all. Because after he was stabbed, he said a bad word. It's crazy.
It's backwards.
Well, it's a jury of your peers, though, because if you select from the people that live in the area, whatever their political leanings are, is what you're going to wind up facing. So, sort of a kind of related case. I guess you can look it up and make your own decision. But there was here in the Lansing area, we kind of know about our own people. We had a basketball player named Montine Cleaves, and a few years ago he was accused of raping a girl after a function at a golf course or something like that. Forgive me if I mess up the details, but you can look it up for yourself. But they had physical evidence, rape kit, eyewitness testimony, and all this stuff, and he still walked and still was freed and basically walked out without a scratch because of the jury and prosecutor and judge. This all happened to I don't know how you want to say it, look the same as him, I guess. So there is that bias. You can find yourself in that kind of situation if depending on where.
We've done sex crime shows. They are really tricky. You call it a rape kit, but really it's a DNA kit. I can't tell if the DNA that is contained within her is consensual DNA or non-consensual DNA. So then you've got to bring in all this other extenuating circumstances, which causes people to scratch their chins and clutch their pearls. And if you're seeing text messages from her to a bunch of boys going like, check out my tits or whatever, like it's going to make people feel a certain way about her.
There's a video evidence of her leaving the room half dressed and trying to get away from him, and he grabs her and pulls her back in the room, and then I guess that's when the rape happens. So there was some evidence that she did not want that, and it happened anyway. So
yeah, well, I mean, that's a super bummer, and I think
that's kind of the same thing with the stabbing case, though, that you're talking about, where it's you wind up in that sort of environment where the people are okay with it, I guess.
I'm sorry to laugh. It's just circle of ones in the chat saying, what if it was like Mr. DNA from Jurassic Park? Yes, she would just, it would be amber mosquitoes and dinosaurs coming out of her crotch then, I suppose.
After Jurassic World.
He also says that Psychic Hobo would be a great TV show, and I know you have change. I sense it. Yes, I think I would watch that too. If you stab me, I will call you worse. Exactly, Red Bike. Including deceased. Yeah, but these are just like hobos. These are like 43-year-old guys that are just like hanging out in the Portland area. And you want to do something fun, just go to YouTube and look up Portland stabbing. And you'll find that there are about 1 billion there. That place is a shithole. So,
Chris, where are you? Where are you?
Me?
In Lansing.
Lansing, Michigan area.
Okay. Oh, you're near. Okay, cool.
We're real life friends.
Awesome.
And then also today at the North Atlanta High School, just today, there was, I don't know if it was a stabbing, but there was this like autistic kid that was being attacked by a group of people. And then it was just like one-on-one, and they fucked this kid up and he was bleeding everywhere. It was really just so senseless. And the kid wasn't fighting back. He was just like laying on the ground and they're just wailing on him. And then he's bleeding everywhere. And the kid comes back for more and like, what? And it called him a white bitch. It was a black suspect, white autistic kid. And like, so, I mean, let's just see what happens. But like, you're saying that there's this magical N-word that is like a get out of jail free card to be able to stab people.
But white bitch is okay.
But white bitch is okay. Well, They're probably also juveniles though, so that's going to play. But it shouldn't, because Kamala Harris says that at 16 you should be able to vote for president. So I guess you should be able to be responsible for stabbing. You learn in kindergarten to keep your hands to yourself. So I feel like kindergartners should be able to go to prison for stabbing people. Like, you know, you're doing the wrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not hobos. They're psychic hobos. What?
I said kindergartners should definitely go to jail.
For sure.
What you
Hard
said?
time. Breaking rocks. And then I was going to actually have a swear jar on this episode, because there was this like super heartwarming story that happened, I think, in North Carolina, where this guy was going to stab this like old lady, and this hero guy just like jumps in the way and takes the guy on. It's like, tells somebody, watch my bike, and goes and is like, now you're going to see what I'm made of, and like goes and he gets stabbed. He goes to the hospital. GoFundMe has already gotten $117,000 or something for this guy. Young guy. I don't know how old he is, but young compared to me. And he was saving this old lady, which is super great. And that happened on the 5th. But then on the 10th, he gets arrested, this hero, for his outstanding felony warrant for spousal abuse with great bodily injury for attacking his pregnant girlfriend. So, but now he has $117,000 and counting, so that's good. So there's no fucking swear jar this week.
$117,000
and counting.
and counting.
And what's funny is I went on it to just be like, oh shit. And there was a guy who gave him $5 just to put the comment, hey, just so you guys know, this guy just got arrested for felony spousal abuse with great bodily injury. Here's a link to the story or the booking photo or whatever. But he still gave the guy $5. So, hey, don't give money like I'm doing right now. Like, I just thought that was kind of funny, but who knows? Circle of One says, I would definitely watch a prison show about kindergartners. So I have to say,
They got
last night,
kindergartners in jail over in Russia.
Really?
do they?
Well, they live in the gulag with their family, so they're technically in a prison. So. Which is something to this day, but
So last night, a bunch of police and
Fun
fire,
facts.
we all, I mean, I guess it is Russia. Last night there was a big charity event for police and fire called Shop with a Hero, where we get assigned a little kid and we get a gift card for them and we get to let them do their Christmas shopping. And so I do it every year, and my kids are always cute. And I was standing in line with a bunch of other firefighters that I know, and you don't really know who you're going to get. And so we were kind of like getting closer to like where we peel off. And then there was this like cute girl with like glasses and a Scooby-Doo shirt. And I just like shoved my friend. I was like, that's mine. I'll let her. So I'm going around with her, and she was just as cute as can be. She was so sweet. I don't want to rat her out. But so their teachers nominate them because they know that money is a major issue in their family and that they're not going to have a Christmas. And these are people who don't maybe come to school with weather appropriate clothes. Like, money's really an issue. And very good kid, just a little sweetheart, really liked her. And so we're going around, and she wants to, pay homage to her grandpa and her dad and all these, strong men in her life that aren't living in her home. So that was really sad too. But anyway, there was a cop that I knew there, and she got this absolute demon that's going to be on Circle of One's prison show about kindergartners. This little girl was just screaming, I want it! And like, you only have a $150 gift card, which can go far. Usually these kids are used to being poor. And so like my little girl yesterday said, well, I guess we should start in the clearance section. Like, you can buy full price. Like, what do you want? Like, well, I want things that I can share with my siblings. Like, of course, let's go, whatever. So anyway, this other girl, I don't even know what I would have done if they would have given me like a total monster. She was trying. Then you go get all the presents wrapped so that they're all ready for Christmas, and they do such a great job, and they put little cards on them, you know, to Grandpa from whoever, and so that then you meet up with the parent again. The parent has no idea what this child is shopping for. They're just supposed to go hang out in the produce section. We're not looking for turnips. We're, you know, all over the store in this big grocery store in Michigan. And so then we meet up and, you know, hopefully like all the presents are surprises. And so I just don't even know what I would have done if I would have gotten such an entitled asshole of a child that needs to go on Ben's show. Should have gotten her name. She could have been a very good candidate for season 1. Well, you guys, thank you so much. I know there was a lot of topics, Chris, that we did not get to. And so I'm hoping that you'll come back next week because I know that there's some of them Randy really wanted to talk to you about.
Absolutely. I love
Oh,
to.
yay! That makes me
I'd
feel
love to have
super
a big
popular.
panel of everybody to talk to. I love all the extra opinions and any input, anything that'll make me better, improve me.
Are y'all
Yeah,
neighbors?
I'm just going to be in the chat, just going like, that's bullshit.
Sort of. She lives a few minutes north of me.
Okay, but there you do have a friend that's a neighbor too, don't you?
Do I have a friend that's a neighbor?
Yeah, it's like the neighbor. The last time I was on the show, you were talking to me about the neighbor, and I think
Oh, I do have a couple of neighbors that I'm friendly with. I don't think they know that I talk shit on the internet. I don't really tell anyone. There's like my 4 friends
Did
in
I
the
dream
chat.
it? What the hell?
I don't
I
know
guess
who
I
that would have
dreamed
been.
No, yeah, she's brought up or talked about her neighbors.
Yeah,
and
she
neighbors and stuff
has.
before, yeah.
I think
No,
they were
but
at your
nobody
house.
On the show, I don't think they were ever on the show, but
They were helping you
I don't-
paint or something or do something.
oh, that was me. That was me.
Oh,
that was
Chris.
you. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I thought that he was coming on the show or he had come on the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. That was you.
Ta-da.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
Chris,
Awesome.
the mold
not Chris.
situation.
Yes, we'll take care of it one way or another.
I'm
have your
already
party.
taking care of it. Listen, don't get caught snoozing. There's money to be had in this house here. You just come make it when you want to make it. But I'm going to be working hard, and I got a big long stretch of days off. I'm going to be doing some shit, and I really want to bring you guys back down to the basement, but it's just not going to happen until it's a little bit more under control. So that's all I have to say about that. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, Twisted, for coming
Thank you.
and scrambling for us and everything. That was really awesome.
You just
I
roboted.
appreciate it.
You're
Oh, I
welcome.
did?
It came back in.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah.
So I hope that you come back super biatch with the
I
robot
put-
dance.
Yes. Chris, I put my link to my profile in the chat. And yeah.
Okay.
And I also
Okay.
put that video of that guy.
In the chat.
Yes, my brain is mush. My brain is
Okay,
mush.
I'll put it
You
in the comment
comments
section.
because the chat will go away. So if you put it in the comments, I'll be able to go back to the video.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll do
put it in
that.
the comments, and then I'll copy it and I'll throw it on YouTube because I don't think you're a YouTuber. So
Not
thanks
much.
everybody. Be safe. You guys can always email me at mollysleuth@gmail.com. It's EU. I shouldn't have to tell you that. It's EU. EU people. Sleuth. EU.
EU.
Love you guys. All right, let's figure this out. Oh wait, and just one more time, just because I'm a shit poster. Stay safe and keep asking questions.
Help me, everyone, Kenobi.